and monthly rainfall and temperature forecast for March 2026. If we just look at the past weather, on the left-hand side is the meteorological subdivision level rainfall distribution. You can find that except extreme South Peninsula like Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Lakshadweep, and Andaman Nicobar Islands, the most parts are either red or yellow. That means except of course East Rajasthan and West Madhya Pradesh, which is green. So this green and blue indicates normal to above normal rainfall activity, whereas red and yellow indicates the deficient rainfall activity. So major part of the country has the deficient rainfall, I want to say, during the February 2026. If I look at country as a whole, then in the month of January, it was 31.5% deficient, and in February, it is 81.3% deficient. That means it was very, very less rainfall activity during February 2026. So if you consider the combined 1 January to 28 February, that is the winter season, then it is again, country as a whole is about 60% deficient. All the regions had the deficiency except South Peninsula, which is normal, that is 2.3% above normal. So in both the months, January and February also, South Peninsula got good rainfall activity, that is normal range, whereas others had the deficient rainfall activity compared to normal. Now let us look at district-wise on the left-hand side diagram, district-wise rainfall activity. If we just look at, you will find that same as we presented in meteorological subdivision level. Now here you find that districts in extreme South Peninsula and East Rajasthan and West Madhya Pradesh mainly were normal to above normal. Otherwise, it was below normal rainfall activity over most of, or the deficient rainfall activity over most of the districts. Even if you look at the eastern part, say East UP, Bihar, then northeastern states and parts of Chhattisgarh, etc., and even Gujarat, also there was no rain. Okay. Now on the right-hand side is the monthly rainfall, and the left-hand side is the seasonal rainfall. That is first January to 28 February in the left-hand side diagram. On the right-hand side is the first February to 28 February. That also indicates that only the extreme peninsula region got some rainfall activity, otherwise country as a whole was deficient. Now, let us look at what was our forecast and what is the observed rainfall in three categories, like below normal, normal, and above normal rainfall category. On the right-hand side was the forecast distribution. On the left-hand side, it was the actual distribution in three categories. What you find that, yes, as predicted, that the deficient rainfall in many parts of the country, that has been realized. And excess rainfall over the West Central India also has been realized. But the deficient rainfall which was predicted for South Peninsula, that has gone wrong. It has become normal to above normal rainfall activity over the South Peninsula. So therefore, forecast has gone wrong in South Peninsula. Otherwise, it is correct in remaining parts of the country. Now, if I look at all India rainfall for February, so what you find that rainfall has been lowest since 1901. It was 4.2 millimeter rainfall. This is the third lowest since 1901 and lowest since 2001. Now, if I look at the trend, what you find that after 2019, all the years in recent year has been below the long period average. Now, if I look at East and Northeast India, as I have shown you the diagram, that it got even no rain in many parts. So rainfall over East and Northeast India was the second lowest since 1901 and lowest since 2001. If you can look at here again, rainfall activity is quite low in 2026 February. If I look at Northwest India, then rainfall over Northwest India, which was about 5.9 millimeter, it is the third lowest since 1901 and the lowest since 2001. So it is clear that since 2001, February is the lowest, be it Northwest India, be it East and Northeast India, or be it country as a whole. Otherwise, it is second or third lowest for East and Northeast India if you consider the data from 1901. Now, if I look at the heavy rainfall activity, you can find that on the left-hand side diagram, it is quite less. On the South Peninsula only, this is Kerala and Southern Tamil Nadu, we had some occasions, and total number of such heavy rainfall events were 11. But if I compare with the previous years, 2025, there was a lot of activity, if you remember, and this year it has been quite less. So if I compare all the 5 years, then 2026 has the lowest number of heavy rainfall events in this recent years. Now, if we look at what happened actually, why is it so? The main weather events during February, if I just look at, there were two low pressure areas. One was over the East Equatorial Indian Ocean at the central part of South Bay of Bengal, and its slow west-northwest movement during 16 to 19 February. Another low pressure area developed over Southwest Bay of Bengal, which became well-marked low pressure area and moved towards southwest and at the central Bay of Bengal. It did not move towards Indian coast. So therefore, though two low pressure systems developed, actually one low pressure system gave the rainfall activity, and that rainfall activity contributed towards the South Peninsula getting normal to excess rainfall. But it did not cause any rainfall, significant rainfall over remaining parts of the country. Western disturbances, which usually has the maximum frequency in December, January, and followed by February, also it was more frequent. We got 1 to 3, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 13, very consecutively Western disturbances formed. But that did not have any impact over Indian region. We have only 3 Western disturbances like 1 to 3, 17 to 19, and 23 to 25 February, which caused light rainfall, hailstorm, gusty winds, lightning, etc. over northwest and central India. But this was not sufficient to fill the deficiency which caused due to absence of an active Western disturbance. There was no active Western disturbance, you can say, and there was a lack of any interaction between easterly waves and westerly waves. As a result, rainfall has been one of the lowest in February 2026. There was no cold wave or cold left wave in the month. There was no active Western disturbance, so cold wave also did not prevail. Then dense fog and low cloud conditions developed mainly over northwest India like Haryana, Delhi, West UP, North Rajasthan during the first week, that is 1 to 4 February, and thereafter there was no such dense fog criteria. A higher day and night temperature during many days in second half of the month prevailed. Especially mainly day temperature was appreciably above normal. 5 to 8 degrees Celsius above normal was recorded, and it was in the range of 30 to 37 degrees Celsius over parts of Gujarat state, Rajasthan, coastal Karnataka during 13 to 15 February and 25 to 27 February. So what I want to summary, I want to say that there was absence of rainfall activity. It was mainly due to absence of any active low pressure systems or the western disturbances. There was no such fog in this month, only 3 to 4 days in the beginning of the month. And there was high temperature, especially in the second half of the month, and certain times it was 5 to 8 degrees Celsius above normal temperature, day temperature. Night temperature was comfortable, but day temperature was above normal. Now let us look at the temperature during February as a whole. If we look at the top panel shows maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature, and bottom panel shows the departure from the normal, that is called as anomaly or deviation from the normal. But you find that entire central India, North India, Northeast India, Northeast India, East India, everything, it is above normal temperature. Only peninsular India, where you have got very good rainfall activity, that means normal to excess rainfall activity, it has been below normal or normal temperature. Otherwise, remaining parts of the country was, day temperature was above normal. And higher departure was experienced in parts of Northwest India and Eastern India. If I consider minimum temperature also, it was higher than normal in the Northwest India, West Central India, and also Northeast India. This green color indicates normal to below normal minimum temperature, that is East Central India and Peninsular India had the temperature normal to below normal. Now, mean temperature is just the average of maximum and minimum temperature, so that we can find out that the northern India, that is including Northwest, East, Northeast India, and Central India also has the higher temperature during month of February. Now let us look at what is our forecast. On the right hand side was the forecast. You can see that we predicted that most parts of the country will have the above normal maximum temperature, and except some parts of central India and some parts of south peninsular India. So what happened actually, you can see that yes, entire northern India, you can say, and central India was above normal, except some parts of MP. And here, some parts of east central India and northeast peninsula, eastern peninsula, you can say eastern peninsula was below normal. So if I compare that, the temperature forecast has gone right in most parts of the country, except this eastern peninsula and adjoining east central India, where forecast was above normal temperature, but it's become normal to below normal temperature. If I look at the minimum temperature forecast on right hand side, this is the forecast minimum temperature, which predicted that it will be above normal many parts except southeast peninsular India. And if you just look at it, has gone right except east central India, like Odisha and adjoining areas, where it was predicted that it will be below normal, it will be above normal, but it becomes the below normal. So I will say that except this east central and adjoining northeast peninsula, the forecast has come correct in terms of the minimum temperature. Now let us look at some of the extremes. All India temperature, if I compare from 1901 onwards, I will say that maximum temperature was the 10th highest for the all India. Minimum temperature was 3rd highest, and mean temperature was 5th highest. Similarly, Northwest India, if it is compared, it is maximum temperature 4th highest, minimum temperature 3rd highest, and mean temperature 3rd highest. East and Northeast India, maximum temperature 3rd highest, minimum temperature is 8th highest, and mean temperature is 3rd highest. So Central India, of course, doesn't have much thing about maximum temperature, but minimum temperature was 4th highest, mean temperature was 7th highest. So therefore, mainly all India, and that is including Northwest and East Northeast India, was worst affected in terms of the higher temperature. Now let us look at the time series for all India. If I look at all India maximum temperature, you can see that yes, in the recent time it has been higher. Okay, for last 10 years or 15 years, we just look at it has become higher. And average maximum temperature during the month of February was 28.78 degrees Celsius. And minimum temperature was 14.76 degrees Celsius. So maximum temperature is the 10th highest, and minimum temperature is the 3rd highest since 1901. And is both are highest since 2001. So mean temperature is the 5th highest since 1901, 21.77. Now, if I compare different years, you can see the statistics given here. So the recent time, if you just look at all India, 2025 was the warmest. That is the first rank, then 2016, and then 3rd rank is 2026. And if I look at the all India February minimum temperature, then what I find that 2026 was the 5th highest. Highest was 2025. So 2025 was the highest temperature in terms of minimum temperature and also mean temperature. And this year it is 3rd highest and 5th highest respectively. Now let us look at about Northwest India. If you look at Northwest India, 2026 is the 4th highest, and 2023 was the warmest. And so the minimum temperature, if I consider it was 2006 was the warmest, and 2026 is the third warmest year. Northwest India mean temperature is considered is also 3rd warmest. So therefore, it is one of the warmest years. Now let us look at the East and Northeast India. There also it is the 3rd warmest, you can say, in 2026 in the data of last 1901 onwards. So now let us look at the average minimum temperature for Central India. If I look at the Central India, what you find in the time series that past 3 years, the Central India temperature, minimum temperature has been the higher than the normal. And if I consider the entire data set, then 2026 is the 4th highest, that is 4th warmest year. And 2025 was the warmest year in terms of minimum temperature of Central India. Now, with these characteristic features of February, let us look at what is going to happen in the month of March. Now, this is the latest global SST temperature, the sea surface temperature departures, and El Nino southern oscillation, ENSO conditions over the Pacific. You can see here, Nino 3.4 region is important for the Indian region, and their temperature is minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. That means still it is, you can say, the border stage of neutral condition and weak La Nina conditions. And if you look at the temperature distribution, you can find out that here is the cooling, here also it is a cooling. So cooling is in the central part, here in the western part also, and warming is taking place in the eastern part. That means the environment is changing and is moving towards neutral conditions and thereafter towards the El Nino conditions. But when that transition will take place, that we'll see in our forecast afterwards. Now let us look at ENSO and IOD forecast based on February initial conditions of the atmospheric conditions. But you find that the blue line, a blue bar is the La Nina conditions, gray is the neutral, and red is the El Nino conditions. So what it suggests that at present weak La Nina condition is prevailing, that will be moving towards most probably in this period, March, April, May, it will be the ENSO neutral condition, and maximum peak is coming up in April, May, June. Then it is gradually decreasing in May, June, July, and then finally the El Nino condition is dominating from July, August, September. That means middle month is August. So most probably we are moving towards ENSO neutral conditions during the summer season itself. That means during March, April, May, and then while we move through the monsoon season, maybe towards the middle of the monsoon season, if this forecast goes correct, then we can say that it will moving towards the El Nino conditions. But how much will be the El Nino, what is the strength, and what is exactly the time of onset of El Nino, that will be known afterwards, because any forecast beyond 5 to 6 months is not having so much accuracy. So therefore, we have to monitor, and then we know that spring barrier conditions also prevailing at present. So therefore, let us wait and watch about the possible development of El Nino conditions. But it is sure that we are moving towards the neutral ENSO conditions. Now, on the right-hand side, these are the various model forecasts. You can see what is going to happen. Then on the bottom, it is the Indian Ocean dipole. At present, we have got neutral Indian Ocean dipole conditions, and forecast, if you just look at this Bureau of Meteorology Australia forecast, it shows that neutral conditions will continue during these summer months. Now let us look at the forecast issued by our monsoon mission climate forecast system of Minister of Earth Sciences, which is run in IMD. It shows that the neutral conditions over the equatorial Pacific Ocean during March to May season. At the same time, the El Nino conditions, it is predicting vigorously from April, May, June. That is red indicates El Nino conditions, contrary to the forecast issued by other global centers. Now let us look at the MMCFS forecast for the Indian Ocean dipole. So it is showing that it is a neutral condition which will be dominating throughout the forecast period. So neutral Indian Ocean dipole is expected. But gradually, the strength of the positive IOD probability is increasing, you can see. But still, the green bar is dominating. That means neutral conditions is likely to continue during the summer months at least. But it is showing even in some monsoon season also, the neutral condition may continue. Now let us look at our temperature outlook for March to May, that is summer months. Left-hand side is the maximum temperature and right-hand side is the minimum temperature. But you find that during this hot weather season, March to May, above normal maximum temperatures are likely over most parts of the country, except some parts of Northwest India. You can find out here green and blue conditions here, and here also you can find out green and blue conditions, and here also green and blue conditions. That means some parts of Northern Peninsula and some parts of Central India and Northwest India, where you can expect normal to be normal temperature. Otherwise, most parts of the country will have above normal maximum temperature. Now, looking at the minimum temperatures, it is also the same thing. Most parts will have the above normal minimum temperature, except the South Peninsula, like say Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry, Kerala, and adjacent areas of Karnataka, where it is expected to be normal to below normal. Also, some parts of northwest India, just isolated parts. Now, let us look at the monthly temperature outlook for March. So, what you see, the maximum temperature in the month of March, it is above normal in western Himalayan region, northeastern states, and adjoining eastern India, some parts of northern peninsula. Whereas remaining parts, you will find that green and blue, that means there will be normal to below normal temperature. So therefore, the maximum, therefore the day temperature, the maximum temperature is not so much alarming in the major plains of the country, but still northeastern India, adjoining eastern India like Bihar, some parts of West Bengal, and interior Karnataka, Telangana, Rayalaseema, there, of course, the above normal temperature is expected, in addition to Rajasthan and Saurashtra and Kutch. Now, if I look at the minimum temperature forecast for the month of March, it is showing that above normal minimum temperature in most parts of the country, except along the east coast and southeast peninsula, like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, some parts of Karnataka, and southern parts of Kerala, where you will have normal to below normal minimum temperature. So, if we look at what is repercussions, whether there will be heat wave conditions or not, so if you look at March, April, May season heat wave conditions, on the left hand side is the forecast. This is the left hand side forecast. What you find that there is a deep red condition shown in Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, especially Ganjati, West Bengal, and North Odisha and adjoining Chhattisgarh. Also, you can find out deep red conditions over Telangana, over Rayalaseema, and coastal Andhra Pradesh. In addition, also there are certain isolated pockets in Gujarat and Rajasthan where it is deep red. Deep red means probability is quite, you can say, anomalous heat wave days. It is showing higher number of days if you see this scale. So, what I want to say that in March, April, May period as a whole, Eastern India, including East UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Ganjati, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Southeast Peninsula, like say Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and some adjoining areas of Tamil Nadu, will have higher number of heat wave days. Similarly, West Rajasthan and Gujarat, some parts, will also have higher number of heat wave days. On the right hand side, you just look at this is the climatology of heat wave durations. Now, what you see is that the climatology is about 4 to 6 days. So 4 to 6 days heat wave conditions are expected over in the month of March to May in the central India and adjoining areas. So, and left hand side shows the climate shows the prediction of the heat wave days in March to May 2026. So what I want to say that the eastern India is also prone for heat wave days, and these are also showing that it will be more number of days in eastern India. Now let us look at heat wave forecast for March. If you look at March, we have got climatologically southern parts of the country, especially North Peninsula, gets more heat wave conditions in the month of March, especially Bidar, Marathwada, Telangana, Rayalaseema, South Chhattisgarh, South Madhya Pradesh, adjoining Gujarat region, and Odisha. They used to get heat wave conditions in the month of March. And this year, our forecast is that major part will have normal number of heat wave days, except some isolated pockets of Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat, where you can have higher number of heat wave days. Say 1 to 2 days higher, you can say in the month of March. So therefore, month of March, heat wave conditions will not be so alarming. But season as a whole, if I look at then eastern India and adjoining northeast peninsula and some parts of Gujarat and Rajasthan will have higher than above normal heat wave days, and that can be 4 to 5 days, 4 to 6 days than normal, higher than normal. So now let us look at monthly rainfall probability forecast for the March 2026, and you can look at the diagram. From this diagram, you can find out that in many areas you are finding green and blue, unlike what has happened in January and February. In the month of March, it is showing that many parts will have green and blue, That means we can expect normal to above normal rainfall in March. So that could be the reason why the heat wave conditions will not be so much alarming in the month of March. We are expecting rainfall in the month of March, unlike in the month of January and February. Most parts of central India and west central India and South Peninsula will have the normal to above normal rainfall activity. However, East and Northeast India and Western Himalayan region still shows to have the below normal rainfall activity. That means again the impact of western disturbance may not be sufficient to cause higher rainfall activity over Western Himalayan region, and similar is the case in the northeastern states gets thunderstorm activity in the month of March. It has started this year, it will continue, and it indicates that thunderstorm activity may be subdued in Northeast India, and that's why you have the less rainfall activity prediction for the month of March. Eastern India also gets Kal Baisakhi or nor'westers. Maybe this year in the month of March it will be subdued. Therefore, rainfall activity is expected to be less in Eastern India also. Now, if I consider the country as a whole, the rainfall average of the country is most likely to be normal, that is 83% to 117% long period average. And long period average rainfall is 29.9 millimeter for the country as a whole, based on data of 1971 to 2020. अभी मैं आप सभी को हिंदी में जानकारी देने के लिए प्रयास करूंगा। अधिकतम तापमान की बात करें, आने वाले गर्मी की ऋतु मार्च से मई के दौरान देश के ज्यादातर हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक अधिकतम तापमान रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और मध्य भारत के इक्का दुक्का हिस्सों को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य या सामान्य से नीचे अधिकतम तापमान रहने की संभावना है, जैसे आपको दिखाई दे रहा है ये डायग्राम पे। और न्यूनतम तापमान की बात करें, जो कि फिगर में दिखाई दे रहा है, मार्च से मई 2026 के दौरान देश के ज्यादातर हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक न्यूनतम तापमान रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप भारत के कुछ पूर्व हिस्सों और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के इक्का दुक्का इलाकों को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से कम न्यूनतम तापमान रहने की संभावना है। अभी मार्च महीने की पूर्वानुमान की बात करें तो अधिकतम तापमान मार्च 2026 के दौरान भारत के कई हिस्सों में मासिक अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य से कम रहने की संभावना है, जैसे आपको ये दिखाई दे रहे हैं डायग्राम पे। पूर्वोत्तर भारत, इससे सटे पूर्वी भारत और पश्चिम हिमालय क्षेत्र और मध्य और प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य से अधिक अधिकतम तापमान होने की संभावना है। और न्यूनतम तापमान की बात करें मार्च महीना में, देश के अधिकतर हिस्सों मार्च 2026 के दौरान न्यूनतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय उत्तर पश्चिम भारत, दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप और पूर्व तट के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे न्यूनतम तापमान रहने की सबसे ज्यादा संभावना है। अभी हम उष्ण लहर की बात करें, यानी हीट वेव की बात करें, तो मार्च से मई 2026 के सीजन के दौरान पूर्व और पूर्व मध्य भारत के ज्यादातर हिस्सों, दक्षिण पूर्व प्रायद्वीप के कई हिस्सों और उत्तर पश्चिम और पश्चिम मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य से ज्यादा हीट वेव यानी उष्ण लहर दिन रहने की संभावना है, जैसे आपको दिखाई दे रहा है डायग्राम पे। ये सभी एरिया है जहां सामान्य से ज्यादा हीट वेव कंडीशंस हो सकता है। और मार्च महीने की बात करें, सामान्य ढंग से जितना ही हीट वेव डेवलप होता है, ऐसे ही होने की संभावना है, सिर्फ गुजरात के कुछ इलाका और आंध्र प्रदेश की। मार्च 2026 के दौरान गुजरात और आंध्र प्रदेश के इक्का दुक्का क्षेत्रों में सामान्य से अधिक उष्ण लहर यानी हीट वेव वाले दिन रहने की संभावना है। देश के बाकी हिस्सों में सामान्य हीट वेव वाले दिन रहने की संभावना है। बारिश की बात करें मार्च 2026 है ये। मार्च 2026 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा की सामान्य यानी एलपीए का 83 से 117% रहने की संभावना है, सामान्य वर्षा होने की संभावना है। 1971 से 2020 तक के आंकड़ों से आधार पर मार्च के दौरान देश भर में बारिश का दीर्घावधि औसत यानी लॉन्ग पीरियड एवरेज लगभग 29.9 मिलीमीटर होता है। मार्च 2026 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने की संभावना है। स्पेशली जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप और केंद्रीय भारत। हालांकि उत्तर पश्चिम और उत्तर पूर्व भारत के कई हिस्सों, पूर्व भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और मध्य भारत के कुछ इक्का दुक्का इलाकों में सामान्य से कम बारिश, सामान्य से कम वर्षा होने की संभावना है। तो मानचित्र में जो बिंदीदार क्षेत्रों में जलवायु विज्ञान के दृष्टिकोण से मार्च के दौरान बहुत कम वर्षा होता है, इसलिए जो हमारा पूर्वानुमान है इसमें बहुत कभी-कभी डेविएशन भी हो सकता है। और जो सफेद रंग वाली क्षेत्र है, संकेत क्षेत्र है, वहाँ मॉडल की कोई पूर्वानुमान नहीं है। मॉडल कोई संकेत नहीं दे पाता है वो क्षेत्र के लिए कि ज्यादा बारिश होगा कि कम बारिश होगा कि सामान्य बारिश होगा। अभी हम अगले 4 हफ्ते की बात करें तो जैसे आपको पता है कि हर थर्सडे को हम पूर्वानुमान देते हैं। तो 26 तारीख से ये पूर्वानुमान अवेलेबल है। सो आप देख सकते हैं कि जो हफ्ता अभी चल रहा है, ये हफ्ता की एंड की तरफ एक फीबल वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस देश की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहा है, जिसके प्रभाव में जम्मू कश्मीर और एडजनिंग जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख और एडजनिंग हिमाचल क्षेत्र में कुछ बारिश हो सकता है। और नेक्स्ट वीक में 5 मार्च से 12 मार्च तक इसमें ज्यादा बारिश होगा, वही फीबल वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस की वजह से। इसके साथ साथ आप देख सकते हैं कि नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में जैसे कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश, सदर्न वेस्ट बंगाल एंड एडजनिंग एरियाज ऑफ आसाम वगैरह में जहाँ बारिश होगा। फिर थर्ड वीक में 12 मार्च 19 मार्च बारिश बढ़ रहा है नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया में, और साउथ ईस्ट पेनिनसुला और वेस्टर्न हिमालय रीजन में बारिश बढ़ रहा है। और फोर्थ वीक में से दिखाई दे रहा है। जो 4 हफ्ते के पूर्वानुमान है यहाँ, मगर 2 हफ्ते के लिए पूर्वानुमान ज्यादा सटीक होता है। और इसको मैं नॉर्मल के साथ कंपेयर करूं तो नॉर्मल से कम बारिश होने की संभावना है 5 मार्च तक, और 5 मार्च के बाद जो वीक होगा 12 मार्च तक, तब वेस्टर्न हिमालय रीजन में ज्यादा बारिश होने की संभावना है, और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में भी। और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स वेस्टर्न रीजन में ज्यादा बारिश जारी रहेगा, इसके बाद 2 हफ्ता और होगा। और मैं टेम्परेचर टी मैक्स maximum temperature की बात करूं, if I talk about the maximum temperature anomaly, that means deviation from the normal maximum temperature, but you find that above normal maximum temperature is likely over Indo-Gangetic Plains, Western Himalayan region, and along the east coast during this week, which is already going on. आप लोगों को पता है। In the second week also similar condition will continue. Above normal temperature may continue for this week. And similarly, if I consider the minimum temperature also will be higher in northwest India in both the weeks, but eastern India, central India, and peninsular India will have the lower minimum temperature. That means minimum temperature remaining below normal. Now, let us look at the forecast for next 7 days. If we just look at, we do not have any orange or red color warning, but we have the yellow color warning for northeastern states like southern West Bengal, Sikkim, Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh today, and then it is gradually decreasing from tomorrow. But peninsular India also we have some kind of warning today, and then it is decreasing. These warnings are mainly thunderstorm warnings, and heat wave warnings were providing from 4th March for Gujarat and Konkan areas. Mainly it will be discomfort, I will say, because of the increase in humidity, temperature and humidity, that I will request all of you, please follow our forecast on day-to-day basis. But at present today, we have issued some kind of hot day conditions for Gujarat and Konkan areas for 4th to 6th. Otherwise, thunderstorm activity we have predicted for next 2 days over northeastern states and South Peninsula. Thank you very much. So now it is open for any questions or comments. हाँ सुशील जी।
हाँ नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते
सर मैं राजस्थान श्रीगंगानगर से बात कर रहा हूँ सर। आईएमडी ने 3-4 साल पहले डॉपलर वेदर रडार लगाने के रिगार्डिंग नोटिफिकेशन जारी किया था। अभी तक जो उत्तर पश्चिम भारत का बड़ा इलाका है वो उससे वंचित है। आंधी तूफान के अंदर ना तो हम उसको बारिश को ट्रैक कर पाते हैं, ना ही कोई चीजें वहां पे ट्रैक हो रही है। काफी टाइम हो गया सर।
जी जी, जो राडार लगाने के जो प्रोसेस है ना, इसमें टाइम लगता है।
सर फिर भी
और
थोड़ा सा
अभी
आइडिया।
उस आइडिया में ही दे रहा हूँ, रिप्लाई दे रहा हूँ। अभी सप्लाई ऑर्डर इशू हो चुका है और अभी सप्लाई होने के बाद 1 साल लगता है राडार बनाने के लिए।
जी।
उसके बाद धीरे-धीरे वो राडार देते हैं। हमारा लक्ष्य यही है कि अभी 48 रडार्स कंट्री में है और आने वाले 1 डेढ़ साल में, यानी मार्च 27 तक तो लगभग 70 टू 75 रडार तक हम पहुँच जाएँगे। जिसके बाद फाइनल लक्ष्य हमारा यही है कि 126 रडार तक जाएँगे और सभी जगह में रडार कवरेज होगा।
जी सर, नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया को आप
ओके।
थोड़ी-सी उसमें
जी, जी,
प्राथमिकता
जी।
देने की
ऑलरेडी
करें सर।
नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में हमने पहला प्राथमिकता हिमालयन रीजन को दिए हैं। वहाँ 11 रडार अभी लग चुके हैं और जो राजस्थान की बात किए, गुजरात की बात किए हैं, ऑलरेडी हमारा जयपुर में एक रडार है, मगर और दूसरा जगह में रडार लग रहा है।
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, और कोई किसी क्वेश्चन है तो
Sir, this is Sandeep Das from Financial Express.
ये संदीप जी।
Just a minute, sir. You said that El Nino condition may now it will now turn into a neutral, then may develop in the second part of the monsoon season.
Yeah,
So-
as per the forecast now. But I have got some certain disclaimer like that. You can say that this is the spring barrier which we are moving through. So therefore, the accuracy of this El Nino forecast may not be so much confident. So we have to wait. And number one. Number two is that any forecast beyond 3-4 months is not very reliable in case of El Nino La Nina predictions. So therefore, as you move towards neutral conditions, perhaps in the month of March and April, then the forecast accuracy will be better.
Okay. And the first forecast will be in the month of April sometime. The
Yeah,
first-
usually it is was middle of April we issue the first forecast, and by last week of May, this is the second update.
Okay. And sir, last for in the month of February forecast, you were saying that above normal temperature will be there northwest and all, which was true.
ले दिया
And
रानी
its
कितनी
impact-
रहेगी तो
its impact. But now
आजकल
March,
भाई
you-
पूरा तो बाहर घूमना।
और सुशील जी प्लीज स्विच ऑफ करिए। हाँ,
but in the March, your forecast in northwest India, it will be the normal rainfall and temperature also in terms of that means you are not expecting any much impact on the harvesting season at the winter harvesting season at its peak, basically.
if we look at the temperature forecast, it will be warmer, both minimum temperature and maximum temperature the season as a whole. But if I consider March, maximum temperature is expected to be below normal or normal over the plains of northwest India, including Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, West UP.
Correct.
But here Rajasthan will have the probability of above normal temperature, and minimum temperature will be above normal.
Okay. So in terms of agri advisory, there is no such specific thing now currently. It's going on.
Actually, we will not be because it depends upon the specific crop and also the area is irrigated. So therefore, the agriculture experts can put up more views, but we are updating this information. It is going to Minister of Agriculture and State Agriculture departments and all concerned.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, Jayashree here from Hindustan Times.
Yes, madam.
Sir, I wanted to know, so March you're saying that minimum temperatures are going to be high. So are we expecting more western disturbances or clouding?
Yeah, if you look at the forecast, western disturbance may be there, but it is not showing much rainfall activity over the western Himalayan region, like say Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, or Uttarakhand. It is showing below normal rainfall activity. But in the plains, you are expecting higher rainfall activity, normal to above normal rainfall activity. It may so happen that there could be some kind of moisture incursion and cloudiness over the plains of northwest India. Number one. And number two, that there could be confluence of two types of winds, westerly and easterly winds over the region, which can lead to rainfall activity. it need not be in association with the western disturbances. Am I clear, madam?
Yes, sir. But again, in the summer, again after March, the temperatures are likely to increase because then your the overall forecast is showing above normal temperatures likely in many areas. So
Yes.
after that,
Showing yes, in northwest India it is showing above normal temperature, but heat wave conditions, we just look at, we are not expecting in all areas of northwest India or central India. It is only limited to West Rajasthan, Punjab, and western part of Haryana. But many parts of MP, East Rajasthan, southern parts of UP, and southern parts of Haryana, there is normal number of heat wave days.
sure, sir. Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there is no other questions or comments, I thank all of you for your very useful cooperation support in working together and providing the services to the nation and the individuals. So it has helped a lot to mitigate the various types of hazards, and we have avoided disaster situations in many cases. And also it has capacitated the individuals through this knowledge base propagated through the press and media. I appreciate and congratulate all of you for your all these good deeds. Thank you very much. We will meet again towards the end of March. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.